my friends. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing great. I am having a great day because yesterday I got to go see a movie I have been wanting to see for quite some time, ever since I saw the trailer for it and read the synopsis like 8-10 months ago. This movie came out last year. It was made last year. Didn't get released until this year because of different things, writer's strike, actor strike, different things, situations, climates, atmospheres, all that good stuff. So let's talk about Late Night with the Devil. Man, this is directed by Cameron and Colin Cairns, and these guys, I am going to watch their future with great interest. Put it that way. These guys crafted one of the coolest, most original horror films I have seen in quite some time. And it is my #1 horror film of this year so far. It is sitting right at the top of my list. Man, this is good. It's got David Dastmalchian in it, right? Okay, so this guy, he was in Dune. He played, I can't remember. He was one of the Harkonnens or whatever. He was one of those, Harkonnens. He was one of those people. He was in Last Voyage of the Demeter as one of the ship hands. I think he was like second in command or something maybe. But he's been in a lot of different... He's Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. David Dastmalchian is doing great things. Totally underrated actor. I think he's getting his comeuppance now, though, because he's been in quite a few things and people are starting to take notice of him. But he delivers in this, right? So let's break down the story. So we got Jack Delroy, right? He's this late night host who is, he rivals Johnny Carson. You know, this is, and now when you see the previews for this movie, you think, oh, found footage, it's supposed to be true story, all this kind of thing. No, but it looks cool. The aesthetic is awesome. It looks like a found footage film, but it's not. It's totally original. It just has a 70s setting, right? So he's Jack Delroy. He's a rival to Carson, but he's also in a cult, right? Like basically they talk about this when they're interviewing him. They're talking about his persona and who he is. And he's part of this cult with in this place called The Grove. I can't remember what the name of the cult was or if they even said it. But was it Abraxas? Anyway, I can't remember exactly what the cult's name was, but he's in this cult, and this cult requires sacrifice, and they have a bunch of like archaic rituals, all this kind of stuff, but it's like Illuminati type stuff, like rich and powerful world leaders and politicians, celebrities, all that are in it. And so, you know, we follow his career for, you know, there's a narrator at the beginning telling us everything that has happened up until the point we're at. And so he tells us all this, and then we find out poor Jack's wife got cancer and died, so he takes a hiatus. He takes a sabbatical. He comes back a year later during sweeps week, and he's like, I have the greatest show. It's gonna, you know, it's on Halloween night. You guys have got to check this out. I'm gonna have something crazy. So he has a paranormal psychologist, her subject, which is this girl who's possessed by the devil. And then he has a skeptic or a cynical skeptic, a guy who used to be a magician, an illusionist, who is there to point out the trickery and the fuckery that is afoot. And they can, you know, he can point it out and say, shame on you, you're lying to these people, yada, yada. And so we pick up there. That's where the movie starts. And the thing is, you're watching it, and it gives you this eerie vibe to begin with. You're like, oh, well, okay. A cult that's going to help him succeed. Sure. Okay. Then we get into the subject matter of it, and we have, first off, we have a guy named Christou, and he comes out, and he's a medium, and he's doing those cold reads where he's like, I see someone with the name of a P. Is there a P? A Patricia? You know, like that kind of thing. And you know, the skeptic guy kind of tries to debunk him, but this is where things get nuts. Supernatural things start happening on set, and the skeptic is just skeptical. He's like, well, you could do this because of that, and you could do this because of that. And he's pointing out all these like flaws in the man's, you know, readings. And so we have color during, and this is another filming technique I think that they just nailed. So the color bits, everything looks 1970s. Costumes, the grain of the TV film, the music, like the slap bass and the you know, that kind of stuff. Like they've got that going for it. It's pure 70s. So when you're watching it and you're seeing this like Technicolor monstrosity in front of you, when they go to a commercial break, we go to a black and white setting, and it shows what's going on behind the scenes, and you're seeing Dostmachian talk to people, and you're seeing you know, the other cast and crew talking to people that are on this late night show, and you're seeing what's going on behind the scenes and how things are just like, what is going on? What is crazy? You know, and I don't want to say too much. Like, I don't want to talk too much about the story, because the less you know, the better it is. 100% the better it is. The less I tell you, just know that it's not found footage, and it's a horror movie through and through, but you just have to see it to believe it, you know? I say that, but it really is like, from the moment the movie actually, they get onto the set, you get this, like, the movie creates this sense of unease, and you just don't feel right. You know, something doesn't feel right. You're waiting and expecting. But the directors, they give you just enough to keep you right there at the edge, and you're frantic. In your mind, you're like, oh my God, what is happening to these people? And that's what makes the movie so good, is because you never know what's going on until the end of the film. And you're like, holy cow, was it this or was it that? And that's what I loved about it, is the fact that there's no like definitive, like, this is what happened. It was like, did this happen? Was there a point in the movie that I should have noticed that this other thing happened? Did this actually happen? Like, that's what I loved about the movie, is when I walked out of the theater, it made me think. It made me constantly keep replaying scenes and scenarios over in my head until I was like, man, I need to go see this again. And I can't wait for it to come out with a physical copy so I can own it. In fact, when I left the theater yesterday, you know, when you get done going to the theater and you have some soda and popcorn, you got to use the little boy's room. So I go into the restroom, and there's an elderly couple in the theater with me, and the older gentleman comes in and he goes, man, that was a wild movie, wasn't it? And I said, yes, sir, it certainly was. And he said, that was our second time seeing it, and it was just as good the second time around. The fact that, I mean, this guy was probably in his late 60s, early 70s. The fact that an elderly couple, have gone and seen this movie twice, and it's not for the faint of heart. There is excellent practical effects that you go, ugh. So, yeah, like, the fact that this older couple saw it twice speaks to me anyway. It speaks to the quality of the production of this film, and the acting and the cinematography. I mean, everything is a fantastic, phenomenal movie that I caught the last showing in my town yesterday, and I'm glad I did, put it that way. Because when I first went to see this, I had to run errands that day, forgot that I had bought a ticket, had to get my money back. So I was really glad that I got to re-get those tickets and go see it yesterday, because I would have been upset had I not seen this in theaters. So if you guys get a chance to go see it in theaters, if this is playing anywhere near you, get in your car, crank it, get to the theater, because you need to see this. All right, guys? So Late Night with the Devil is going to get 4.5 out of 5 stars. Go check it out as soon as you get a chance. I mean, as soon as you see it on the streaming service, or as soon as you see it up to rent on Prime or whatever for a reasonable price for you, rent it, check it out, and thank me later, guys. That's it. Thank you so much for watching my reviews, guys. It means the world to me. If you liked it, like and subscribe, and keep coming back for more content, guys. And as always, I'm going to keep making them as long as you guys keep watching them. God bless you. I love you. Peace out, and see you soon.